If I can get this to go. Okay, so happy Tuesday, March 5th, team call night. Tonight's topic, talking about owning your Instagram, and really like kind of the subtopics with that is like how to, create your story if you have a hard time coming up with that, how to share your story effectively so that you're not just like another Beachbody coach or another health and fitness person out there, like just kind of blending in with everybody. How to get more engagement with your Instagram, because that is super important. And then just some final little fun tips on like apps that I use and stuff like that to kind of help you guys get a little bit more creative with your stories. So I was kind of prepared, I guess you would say, tonight, and I put together some slides. They're nothing fancy, but if you guys know me, I tend to ramble, and I feel like if I have some slides, this will help keep me on a task. So I don't know how I actually watch it. Present. Wow, look at us. Hold on. Okay. Oh, we're so fancy. Okay, got it. All right, so owning your Instagram, or own your Instagram. I just was listening to a YouTube training today where she was talking mostly about inviting and like how to make that more enjoyable, more fun, to being specific with invites. But there was one thing that she shared that matches well with the topic that we're talking about tonight. So I wanted to start off by sharing that before I get into what's on the slides here. But you need to think about, you're a freshman in college and you're brand new, nobody knows who you are, and you decide to throw a party. If you just post about it on Facebook, nobody's going to show up. They don't know who you are. They don't know if you're fun, if they can get along with you. Like they don't know anything about you, right? You're new. So you have to send out personal invites to people to, number one, get their attention. And then you have to consistently have those parties and make them fun. And it's like, okay, what the heck does this have to do with Instagram or a challenge group? When you are talking about your challenge groups, you're posting about them, people are not just going to reach out to you. I mean, yes, it happens every now and then, but especially as a newer coach, people are going to see your post and they're either just going to scroll by because their attention span is so short, or they're going to be like, what is she talking about? And they're just going to start to pay more attention to you. So you send out those personal invites, or you have to send out personal invites to get people to actually like talk to you about it and ask you about it, okay? And then you continue to show up on your social media talking about how amazing this community is and how amazing the programs are and how much it has, changed you, blah, blah, blah. And that's equivalent to hosting a fun party and getting people to be like, yeah, I want to come back to her party the next time and the next time. And so once you're finally a senior in college, since you've been throwing these bomb-ass parties and people just come to expect that you're going to have them, they're just going to show up. That's how your business works, as you just continue to show up on your Instagram and send invites to people and host challenge groups on a consistent monthly basis, then you will start to have people more often just come to you and be like, hey, what is this? I want to do what you're doing. So I just wanted to share that little analogy with you in hopes that it'll help you. If you're ever feeling discouraged about your Instagram as a whole, thinking like, is it worth it to be posting like this? Do I really need to be sending the invites? Do I need to be posting every single day? Yes, it all matters. So with that being said, first talking about your story, you need to know who you are as you are sharing on Instagram. And I don't mean that you necessarily need to like sit down and have this like deep reflection of like, who am I as a person? Keep it simple. I mean, obviously, yeah, I hope that you are in tune enough with yourself to like know what your values and your morals are and stuff like that. But keeping it simple to get started, just think about like 5 things that make you you. And I talk about this all the time, so I won't spend a lot of time on it for those of you that have heard me say it before. But think of like 5 things that make you you. Whether that's a mom, a college student, a nursing student, a sister, a cousin, an aunt, you're a teacher, I don't even know what else. What are some other professions? A dentist, like just anything that makes you you. You're a dog mom, a cat mom. Like me, I'm single, so that's like part of me. And then kind of combined with that, 5 to 10 more other just interests or hobbies that make you you. And like super small things, like for me is I love country music, I love Mexican food, I love shopping and Harry Potter and Converse and tattoos. Like those are all the things that make up who you are as an individual. And if you're having a hard time thinking about that, I mean, don't overcomplicate it. But again, like if you still had your Instagram before Beachbody, what were you posting about? And I know that maybe there's some of us that we didn't post a lot on Instagram before we decided to like, hey, let's share my health and fitness journey. But, you know, if you have Facebook, what's the stuff that you post about on there? Is it funny memes? Is it sarcasm? Is it, you know, are you big on sharing your faith? Do you like music, poetry, science, like whatever? All those things make up you, and that is going to help you craft who you are as an individual. And that's what needs to be shared daily on your Instagram. Now, I know we can share those things easily. Like, for instance, I said one of my interests is Converse. Say I get a new pair of Converse, you know, and I take a picture of them and just post them on my Instagram. Like, okay, some people are going to connect with me because they're going to like Converse too. That's great. But as silly as it sounds, I can make a story out of my Converse. Maybe before coaching, I couldn't really afford Converse because they're kind of a more expensive shoe and I didn't have the money to buy that. I could talk about how coaching helped me financially with that. Or before I started coaching, I didn't have the same style that I have now, like with my nose piercings and my tattoos and even wearing Converse. That wasn't a style that I had of mine. And honest to God, I think that the confidence that I built from coaching helped me like find a different style for myself, because I always thought that I wasn't that type of person. I didn't have that confidence in myself. And so like I could share that. It's like simple and maybe stupid as it sounds. You can make a story out of anything. And the story is what people are going to relate to. And that's how you are more intentional with your social media. And so if you're having a hard time, like, okay, so Lauren, you just came up with a story for your Converse, but I can never think of stuff like that. I need help with that. Number one, it comes with practice. It comes with time. You know, if when you get into school and they ask you to start writing papers, if you've never really written a paper before, you might have a hard time, you know, coming up with a bunch of words and a story. But the more that you do it, the more comfortable you get with it, and the more, you know, just the easier that it starts to flow as you start to do it more, right? So your captions and your stories will get easier with time as long as you continue to do it. You can't just sit there and wait to feel better about sharing your story. The longer you sit there, actually, the harder it's going to get. You've got to take action. So something that you can actually do, a tangible action you can take, is sit down with a piece of paper. And you know, they have like a pros and cons list when you're making something up, okay? And they're kind of like opposites of one another. You're going to make a list of your struggles and your pleasures. And I really don't like the word pleasure, but that's the word that she used in this training I listened to earlier. And start with the struggles, because that's who you were before Beachbody, before you found this solution, whether it was the workouts, the Shakeology, the community, whatever it is that changed your life. It's probably a combination of all of it. But sit down and write down just a list of the things that you struggled with. So for me, it was I grew up the bigger friend. I grew up eating a ton of fast food. I had no healthy role models in my life. Like, we drank a bunch of soda. Um, I, was plus size. I couldn't share clothes with my friends, so that made me insecure. I, when I got to high school and started trying to lose weight on my own, I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't have support. Like, I had bought a friggin' Beachbody DVD off an infomercial at the age of 16 because I had a debit card. I didn't have to tell my parents. I bought it and I never even used it. It was Hip Hop Abs, by the way. And then after that, I was in college and had no career that I wanted to pursue. I hated the idea of working for somebody else. So these are all the things that I either struggled with or I didn't like about my life, that I wasn't happy with, whatever. So then on the opposite side of this list that you're making, I'm going to write how that changed because of Beachbody. So I grew up eating fast food and drinking soda. Beachbody helped me understand the importance of fueling my body. A year ago, I was really bad into binge eating. Beachbody has the program To Be Mindset, and that helped me become more aware of my emotional eating triggers and how to handle that. Like I said, I grew up plus size and not very confident in myself. Beachbody helped me get in the best shape of my life. When I was trying to lose weight on my own in high school, I didn't have support, so I never stuck with it. Now I have community. You see where I'm going with that? So I make a comparison list. And so if you're struggling to share your story and write these captions, look at this list anytime you go to make a post. And I know that might sound daunting, like, really, Lauren, I'm just trying to write an Instagram post. I don't want to sit down at my desk and look at my list. But if that's what it takes to help you write more intentional captions and share more intentional things on your stories, it's worth it. Like, I can pretty much do it at just the drop of a hat now and think like, okay, what have I struggled with today? How can I share this that'll hit someone in their pain point? That's the things that you want to think about when you're sharing something, a pain point. Something that's, going to get people's emotions going. Like, when I worked out this morning, I got to the abs part of the workout, and I hate working abs. And I talked about how I would like to give up because nobody's there watching me, but I know what it feels like to give up. Somebody on the other end of my story has probably experienced that. They're trying to work out and they're like, well, nobody's here, nobody cares. Like, I can just give up on myself. And so the fact that I shared that, that's going to give an emotional tie to somebody. Or last night I went out to eat and I literally just posted a picture of the food that I got and said something like, to go out to eat and not, have a bunch of guilt for the food that I ate, that's pretty amazing. Because I struggled with that really bad before. And somebody else on the other side of that camera, the other side of that phone, reading my post is probably sitting there thinking, oh my God, that is me too. I have really bad food guilt. And that's a pain point. That is what people are going to be drawn to, not the, oh, this is the best workout in America. This shake is magic. This is the most, easy meal plan to follow. Like, that's not what's going to get people's attention. That's not what is going to get them to say yes when you invite them to a challenge group. It's the real, the raw, the shit that goes on behind the scenes that nobody wants to talk about. And you have to take it upon yourself to share those things intentionally on a regular basis. It is your job to be real and raw and vulnerable with people. Because if you're going through it, somebody else is going through it, and it's selfish of you to keep it to yourself and not give them the opportunity to experience the same life-changing things that you did. So you've got to have that heart and that passion behind every single post that you make. Not to say that every post is going to be some long, drawn-out novel. I do keep some super simple ones. If I just really liked my outfit and I'm going out on a Friday, I will post something like that. But pretty much Monday through Friday, or Sunday through Friday, really. Sunday is an important day to make posts, especially about challenge groups, because that's when everybody feels like an asshole for eating and drinking all weekend and they're sitting on their couch scrolling Instagram. That is prime time to post something because they're sitting there hating their life and they're going to see it. Just saying. So Sunday through Friday, I'm really intentional with my captions. Saturday, I might just kind of put something up. just cause. All right. So after this call or sometime tomorrow, write down your struggles and your pleasures list and see if that helps you come up with better captions and better things to share in your stories, so that it's not just a, hey, I worked out today. Oh my God, I'm so sweaty. Like, people are going to be like, okay, good for you. Yeah, woohoo. You know, you got to have a little bit more substance behind it. And kind of touching on this, the imposter syndrome, I don't know if anybody's familiar with that. It basically just means you have a fear of looking fake. And I'm not going to lie, I have struggled with this really bad recently. And I never really have. And I've tried to sit down and think like, okay, why is this all of a sudden bothering the hell out of me? I've started unfollowing people because I think that's a big part of it. Like, I'm playing this comparison game. I don't even know what it is. But literally, like, every single day, I'm like, why am I posting about my workout? Who am I to give this advice? Why am I posting about this, nutrition tip? Who am I to give this advice? And that is BS, because I know that it has helped me and I have experienced it. So I need to share it. So again, I don't know what the hell's going on in my head, but if you're ever feeling the same way, like, nobody's going to want to listen to me, or I'm not educated enough, I'm not experienced enough. You guys, you don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be the best out there. You literally just need to be you and share what is working for you. All right? So knowing that and remembering that your story is unique for a reason. So if you see other Beachbody coaches out there that have been, they joined and from day one, they've been 110% committed and they dropped 50 pounds, and maybe you started on the same day and you've only lost 5 pounds, and you're like comparing yourself, that doesn't matter. Your story is your story for a reason, and you need to share all the ins and outs of that so that you're finding other people that are exactly like you and you can be on that same journey together. So I promise your story matters and it has value, and someone out there is going to relate to you. I get more messages from people saying, thank you for being real. Thank you for showing me that you don't have to be perfect. I get more of that than I do anything else. So just wanted to drop that for you. All right. Now, how to share that story. We already kind of talked about, how you have your struggles and your pleasures list. Like, that's how you're going to come up with the idea of what to share, but how to actually take action with it. On your actual Instagram feed, where you're posting a picture with the caption, I really try and sprinkle a story into every single caption. Just like I kind of said with the Converse, like something as simple as getting a new pair of shoes, but I can sprinkle in, years ago, I never even pictured myself in Converse. I just didn't think I had that bold enough of a personality. But with all of the personal development and mental growth or mental strength that I've gained through coaching, I'm now confident enough to wear whatever the F I want and be okay with it. And I sprinkled in, the fact that coaching has helped me with confidence. I put in the F-bomb because that's my personality. Always trying to put little bits and pieces of you in every single thing that you do. So being more intentional with your captions, like we've covered, and then within your stories. I know that it can be really hard to think okay, again, with the imposter syndrome, or maybe you feel like you're being annoying for sharing every single day. But here's what I want you to understand. People's attention spans are so short. And not only that, there's so much content out on the internet. There's a statistic that says it takes 7 times. People have to see something 7 times before it actually stays in their brain. So if you're ever afraid of, well, I've already shared my story of, not being confident growing up. Okay, if you haven't shared that within the past week, it's time to share it again. And, you learn to share it in different ways. But showing up consistently, you're not annoying. If people find you annoying, they will unfollow you, and that's great because it means they're not supposed to be in your life. But start out with, on your stories every single day, sharing a clip of your workout. And yes, I mean video clip. If you've never done that before, you want to know how you get over the fear of doing it, you do it, okay? sharing either a product, as in Shakeology, Energize, Beach Bar, whatever it is you might be using, or a healthy meal, and not blasting the name like, here's my Shakeology cup, but just sharing something of that can be a picture. You can put a little caption over your story of like what it is, what it why you take it, why it makes you feel good, whatever. Another really video clip that showcase, yes, it doesn't need to be video necessarily, but something that showcases your personality. So excuse me, I share a lot of inappropriate jokes and memes and things like that because that's part of my personality. So sharing something like that, and honestly, just like talking on camera about something that happened within your day, that's going to showcase your personality. Because like for me, in a lot of my stories, I'm like super sassy and bold and tough love and straight to the point. If you're more of a, oh my God, I just was driving and almost ran over a dog and I almost cried. Like, I know a lot of people would be like, why do I need to share that? Do you know how many people are going to relate to you for crying over almost running over an animal? Like, that's legit stuff. And you'll get random ass people that are like, oh my God, I would do the same thing. And it's simple things like that that help you form relationships with people. So share something random that happened within your day. I don't want you to obsess over being on your stories all the time. Like if something funny or sad or scary or whatever happens, the first place I think to go is Instagram, which might sound stupid. People will be like, really? Like that's obsessive. But that's where I'm at. And like that's how much value I see in my social media. And you know what? I get made fun of for it. I am getting to a point where I just prop up my phone and will take random videos like with my dad's band and like wherever I'm working. I don't care. Like it's my life and I'm sharing it because this is my business. So sharing those things that are going to showcase your personality and other parts of your life, those can kind of be intertwined. Whatever, your other job might be, if you're in school, if you have kids, pets, blah, blah, blah. So getting those things in your stories every single day. And I mean that every single day because with the algorithms of Instagram, if you go one, how your stories disappear after 24 hours, if you go one whole period of 24 hours and you have nothing on your story, your name automatically goes to like the end of the list so that whoever was watching your story is not going to see you firsthand anymore. And that's just bad because now maybe they're going to forget about you and not watch your stories anymore. So being on there every single day, and I know I already kind of touched on oversharing. I got ahead of myself, but like if you're afraid you're being annoying, get over it. Like, if you only want to do these 4 slides a day because you're afraid you're going to have too long of a story, okay, I get that. Some people don't like that. But as you start to get more creative with your stories and how you share your workouts and your foods and your stuff like that, it's not going to be the same exact thing every single day. So knowing that point that I mentioned of people need to see stuff 7 times before it sticks in their brain. Also, if you're sharing things in a different way, sometimes people just hear something and it just clicks for them differently than it did last time. So that's why it's important to share things more than once and not thinking, oh, well, I already shared that tip, I can't share that ever again. No, you're getting new people. Others are going to forget about it. So I just like to sit and think, well, not sit and think, but if I'm about to post something, be like, okay, what did I need to know about nutrition before? What am I struggling with today? What did I struggle with yesterday? Let's share that. So what are we doing here? Oops. Okay. Gosh dang it. I can't figure out what slide I'm trying to be on right now. Jesus, it's freezing. Hold on. I really don't even know how to work this. I think this is the slide I want to be on. I've been clicking a bunch, so we'll see if it switches. But yeah. No, there's another slide. Engagement. What the frick? I'll just talk about it now. Getting engagement on your stories. You've got the basics of, here we go. Okay. To to get engagement from people. Like the example that I used of when, oh my God, I almost ran over a dog and I cried because of it, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Sharing things like that and always having the purpose of aiming to make someone smile, to inspire them, or to educate them, or in the sense of almost running over a dog, like they're just going to feel that emotion with you. That should be your purpose behind every post that you make. And little things like that are how you're going to get people to engage with you. And the more that you do it, the more they're going to start to reply to your stories and be like, oh my God, me too. Or I thought this same thing, whatever. Or they'll, post on, or they'll comment on your posts like, oh my gosh, I agree, whatever. A little tidbit here to help keep people engaged on your stories, especially if you're doing, if you're doing a talking, like a video clip. If you watch my stories, you'll see I've been doing it more recently. Like this morning, I had 2 video clips where I was talking about how I've kind of been slacking in my workouts. I can't remember what else, but like the video where I was talking about slacking in my workouts, I just typed the little caption, honesty time. That's going to get people to be like, wait, what's she being honest about? I need to sit and listen to this. Just having those little captions is going to spark people's interest and keep them from just like tapping through like, oh, here's a bunch of videos of Lauren talking. So having those little captions, like what was some other ones? Or like say right now, if I was taking a video of our team call right now, like I would just do a little caption like teaching my girls about Instagram. Just kind of giving a little hint of what the whole video clip is about, just to spark people's interest essentially and keep them on that video clip. And to keep people engaged, you also need to have fun and be confident when you're sharing. And I don't want you to get that confused with having to be outgoing necessarily, or to have like a super bubbly personality. If that's not you, like don't fake it. But if you just sit there like, oh my God, I have to tell you guys, I went to the grocery store today. Like nobody is going to be drawn to that. They're going to be like, okay, I'm not going to listen to her, sit there. Like just have energy, something. And if you need to like freaking do it after your workout, if you have a lot of energy after your workout, or take some Energize, drink some coffee, I don't know. But obviously the more that you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get. So get yourself to be comfortable. Even if you're not super outgoing, you need to be comfortable. And just like I said before, the only way to do that is just to do it. Like the first couple live videos that I ever did on Facebook, it'll pop up in my Facebook memories and I watch them and I'm like, that is painful to listen to because I'm like so awkward or whatever. And now I could just do a live video like all day, every day because I've done it so much. You just have to do it. Excuse me. And then you also build confidence. Oh no, that's really the point I was making. You build confidence by showing up every single day. Sorry. And that's going to help, like the more that you show up and post energetic stuff like that, that's how you're going to get people to give energy back to you. And the more that you show up, the more they're going to start to trust you and be like, okay, she's actually consistent in posting this stuff. So with the obvious ways to get people engaged on your stories, the polls feature, the questions, the little slidey thing, use those as often as you can. I honestly try and do one every single day. Some of them being health and fitness related, other ones being, like which outfit should I wear, A or B, or, what's your favorite show, Friends or The Office, like things like that. And I'm going to tell you that if like you've never really posted them before or you don't post polls and questions that often, don't be surprised when nobody responds to them. And be okay with that. Especially if they are polls for invites to challenge groups and stuff. You guys, I'm lucky if I get like 1 or 2 of people just to say, I need more info. And then I message them info and I don't hear from them. So please, please, please don't think that if you're posting these things and nobody's engaging that like there's something wrong with you. No, you just got to do it more often. get more eyes to your page, and eventually people will start to, be like, hey, she's giving, me value and me positive energy. I'm going to give it back to her. And that's how you find your lifers, the people that are going to be with you for good. And then lastly, in terms of, being more intentional with your Instagram, your social media in general, you need to get obsessed with the fact that this is your business. Like, I used to sit there and think, like, obviously, like, social media is fun. I want you guys to have fun with what you're posting and sharing, but take it as seriously as a business. Like, if you went to your job tomorrow and your boss said, hey, I want you to start being in charge of our Instagram, and you have to post something every single day, you would do it, right? This needs to be treated the exact same way. Because if you're not showing up every single day, it just shows people that you aren't serious about what you're doing. And the people that are watching you are instead going to go to somebody else that is showing up every single day. Consistency is the best thing you can have for yourself in this business. And with it being your business, like, this is also your life. I want you guys to be so in love with the journey of creating your best self, of finding your best self, that you want nothing more than to have, like, Beachbody and coaching be your life. And if you're a brand new coach, you might be sitting there thinking, like, I can't even envision that. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing or what I want to do. That's okay. I just want you to have such a huge heart and passion behind something, whether it's, Transform 20, or it's, Shakeology because it's changed so much for your health, or the community aspect of things. I just want you to friggin' love what you do. And if you don't, like, I'm not saying that this isn't for you, but you just might need to take a step back and be like, okay, what am I missing? What do I feel like I'm lacking? What do I want to change? What do I want to work on? And the more self-aware you can become, the easier it will get to share these things. And you won't have to think about posting on social media. You won't have to think about sharing. It will just happen naturally. And with that being said, never stop learning about Instagram. There's a ton of, just YouTube trainings that aren't Beachbody related, just like how to grow your Instagram, how to use Instagram stories, Instagram hacks. Like, take the time to look that stuff up and listen to it as some of your daily personal or business development. So then to finish off here, of course the slide's not going to pop up. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. But some apps. Let me see if it'll exit. There we go. Oh no. Oops, I went out of order. That's okay. Haha. But we'll end with apps. I'm not going to go back into the presentation mode, but so you can see these apps that I use for my stories. The ones where you see, like, different fonts on stuff is the app WordSwag. I use Unfold. That's the one, if you ever see where I've got, like, a picture and then it has, like, a white box underneath it where there's a caption. That's from Unfold. I use VideoShop for my like, workout videos that are, like, sped up or slowed down, or if it's, like, several moves in one video clip. That's edited on VideoShop. And then these last three are what I use for, like, my actual posts, basically to just edit and have different filters. I use Photify or PicPlayPost when I want to do like a side-by-side, like a before and after. Those are the ones I use for that. And then I just like one of the filters that Photify has, so I'll use that. Facetune allows you to whiten, like, anything in the picture. And if you notice on my Instagram, I kind of have a theme of, like, more of a gray scheme. All the walls in my apartment are this ugly ass brown and I hate it. I use Facetune and I will whiten the walls essentially. I just like the look of that. And then Lightroom it's really like a Photoshop app. So it can be kind of not confusing, but just hard to figure out, like, what works and what gives you the look that you're going for. As always, go to YouTube if you want to, Lightroom tutorial or how to use Lightroom. You can always learn those things. Just play around with it yourself. Or if you're familiar with presets, those are filters that are already put together and you can buy them on like Etsy. I haven't bought any myself. I've seen that Lainey's bought one. Tia, you have some, right? Yeah, because you've got that filter that you use on your picture. So, message Tia or Lainey if you're like, hey, where did you get these? But let's stop the share here. That is really all I have. We're just at about over half an hour with this meeting here, so I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time for the rest of the night. Does anybody have questions on anything that I went over or anything that you would like to add, like that's working for you or that kind of resonated with you? No? All right, good deal. Sorry, we're going to do a boomerang tonight. We haven't done a boomerang in a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to boomerang here in a second, and you're just going to I want you to be pumped up, okay? And I know you're going to feel like an awkward person, but it's fine because it's going to be a boomerang, and I'll have music with it, and people will be like, why are they so excited? But see, that's what we do, right? All right, so put your hands up. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hold on, try again. Y'all were slow. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There we go. Got it. You guys are the best. Thanks for going along with us.
My music still isn't working on Instagram.
Really?
I don't think I'll ever get it back.
I've seen somebody else post about, I follow, her name's Allie Griffith. Muscles and Margaritas is her name. And she is complaining that her husband has music, but she doesn't.
Yeah, my mom has music. I'm like, my mom doesn't even know how to use it.
Yeah,
my notifications aren't working. I'll open my Instagram and have 6 messages, and I've uninstalled and reinstalled my app and undone and redone my settings.
Really?
I also can't share posts from your story feed to an Insta story.
I can't either.
That's weird.
I've even emailed them 3 times saying my music's not working and I don't get anything back.
Oh, 3. I literally report the issue daily, sometimes multiple times a day.
So as for the music, Tia, I usually open my Spotify in the background.
They take it off. They don't let me.
Oh yeah, it will block it. Well, actually, Tia, so I've seen I've gotten the notification saying that it's hey, you've posted music that you don't own the rights to, but the story is still there and you can still
mine takes it off. They delete it. And they say it's only visible in 3 countries. And it lists the countries.
What the hell?
And the US is not one of them.
One thing that I did, Tia, Sam was saying, if you play Spotify in your background, but you were saying it removes the music and it's just a silent video. One way that I did get around that is if you play Spotify in the background, go into Snapchat. It was really kind of a lengthy process. It's kind of annoying, so I might not recommend it. But if you are on Snapchat, you can hold down and slide to the side, and that's how you get Snapchat to record hands-free. I would do that. The music would stay with it, save the video to my phone, and then I would go into Video Shop and just edit out the first 2 seconds of the Snapchat video because it actually shows you holding down the button, so it just looks awkward. So I would edit that out, and then it would keep the music in my stories. I don't know if you want to mess around with that.
See, I've never had any issues with that. I always do my dance party videos or whatever on Snapchat, and I just save it and then I post it to Insta. Yeah. And I've never had any issues with music playing in the background.
If mine is longer than the one snap or one video on Instagram, it'll delete it. I've tried editing my own video on Video Shop. They take it off. And I tried doing 2 or 3 snaps worth of the same song. They take it off.
What the hell?
So I can only do 2 seconds of a song, if that even counts.
Yeah, mine did that for the longest time, and then one day it just oh.
I know. I keep waiting. I look for it every morning. I open it. I'm like, oh, nope, still don't have it.
What the hell? That's shitty.
Get your shit together, Instagram.
I know. And I even asked them when I was at that meeting, the Facebook,
Right.
Instagram, and they're like, well, it should come back. It's in a test group.
But,
Wait, you were at a meeting? What?
Yeah, I went to a Facebook event.
Oh. Yeah, because isn't Instagram owned by Facebook now or something like that?
Yes.
Facebook works just fine, y'all. Why can't you make Insta work?
no kidding. All right. Well, we shall hop off here, y'all. I will upload this into the team page tomorrow. Thanks for getting on, guys.
See ya.
Have a good night.
Bye.